Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm thrilled to welcome you all to today's training session. My name is Sharif, and I'm one of the technical writer reporting to Ramya. We have three topics today. The first will be user journey, customer feedback, and analytics. Do you see my screen?
Yes, check.
Okay. So the goal of this training is to equip you with the user journey, training, and customer feedback and analytics. By the end of this session, you'll have a better understanding of these topics. User journey, the goal of this training, the purpose of user journey training is to equip individuals with the skills and knowledge to effectively map and analyze the steps and experiences user goes through when interacting with a product. And customer feedback, the goal of this training is to familiarize the technical writers with the skills to effectively collect, analyze, utilize customer feedback to enhance customer satisfaction, improve products and services, and drive overall business performance. And the goal of analytics is to enable the data guild members to systematically collect, process, and interact data to enhance the quality and effectiveness of technical documentation. This training is designed to be interactive, so please feel free to ask questions and share your thoughts. Your participation will make this session more valuable for everyone and less boring. At any point, if you think we need a break or just need to step out, please stop me. Okay. With that, we'll dive into our first topic, that is user journey. User journey in technical writing outlines the steps and experiences a user goes through when interacting with a product, highlighting how they achieve their goals and any challenges they face. This helps create user-centered documentation that is relevant, clear, and helpful to each stage of the interaction. Now, the key components of a user journey, user persona, represents the target users, including their characteristics, needs, and goals to tailor content accordingly. Scenarios, description of situations where the user interacts with the product, providing context about their environment and constraints. What are the touch points, specific stages, and interactions the user has with the product, detailing the steps, discussions, and action taken, goals and objectives, the outcomes the user aims to achieve through their interaction with the product, pain points and challenges, difficulties of or obstacles the user may face, helping to create documentation that addresses their issues, emotional journey, insights into the user's emotion and thoughts at different stages, guiding the tone and empathy in the documentation. Um, so I think since we discussed about key components of user journey, we'll take an example. Uh, Now, the example here that we can take is about a fitness app. So think about a fitness app. If you have to download a fitness app, you would look into certain features, like, is the app user friendly, or can you monitor your health progress? Can you set a new goal? Those are the things that you would look at. Now we'll see how, we'll take an example. So John is a software developer who wants to stay fit and monitor his health. He's a tech savvy, enjoys running, cycling, and wants to track his progress and set fitness goals. So that's our user persona. John wants to download an app, and these are the features that he's looking at. Scenario: John uses the fitness app to track his monitoring his runs, weekend cycling sessions, and he wants to log his workouts, monitor his progress over the time, and set new fitness goals. And he often uses the app while on the go. He wants the app to be very user friendly, with minimum taps, etc. So that's the situation we are in. So we'll see what are the touch point here. Touch points, yes. John opens the app, selects start run to track his morning jog, views real time statistics such as distance, pace, heart rate, logs his workout once he is done, checks his progress in the app's dashboard, sets a new goal to increase his weekly running distance, and shares his achievements with friends on social media, etc. We all do that, right? Sometimes when we go on a cycling or we do any CSR, for example, we do try to share that on social media. So that's what he's doing here. And goal and objective: John aims to maintain a regular fitness routine, tracks his workout accurately, set and achieves fitness goals, and gain insights into his performance over time to stay monitored and improve his health. So that's the goal. The goal is to stay fit and improve his health. What are the pain points here? Okay. John encounters issues when the app's GPS tracking is inaccurate in certain areas. Sometimes when, suppose your gym is in the basement, or behind any heavy concrete wall or something like that, you may have issues with your network or your GPS. So he finds it frustrating when he can't log his workout due to poor internet connectivity. Additionally, he sometimes struggles to understand the app's complex data visualization features. Um, what are the emotions here? John feels motivated and excited when he starts a new workout and sees his progress. He experiences frustration when the GPS tracking fails or the app crashes. However, he feels happy, or a sense of accomplishment when he achieves his fitness goal and shares his milestone with the friends. We must have seen sometimes on social media, on Facebook or Instagram, some of our friends who go on a marathon or who do cycling for uh, 50 kilometers or 40 kilometers. They share it on Facebook because it's the joy that they want to share. That's the emotion. So in this example, the key components of the user journey helps to create user-centric documentation that addresses John's needs, ensures clear guidance on using the app, features, and resolves common pain points to enhance his overall experience. With that, we'll move on to the next slide. Steps to create user journey in technical documentation. Research and data gathering. Understand users via surveys, interviews, analytics, feedback to create accurate personas and scenarios. Define user persona. Develop detailed profiles to grasp user needs, motivations, and challenges. Map the user journey, outlines users' steps from start to finish, noting their touch points, decisions, and actions. Identify pain points and opportunities. So, pinpoint users' difficulties and unmet needs to refine documentation. Create content for each stage. So, we have to craft clear, concise documentation for each journey stage addressing users' need. Iterate and improve. Consistently collect feedback to enhance documentation and support users effectively. Now, we'll take one more example here. Think you are working on documentation for a new mobile banking app, okay? Here's how you might apply each step that we discussed here in user journey, uh, in creating a technical documentation. So let's look at each step, how it is applied, okay? So in the first step, you conduct surveys among potential users to understand their banking habits and pain points. You also interview current users. Interview, in a sense, you kind of try to gather feedback from the current users um, of your existing banking app and analyze data from the app usage and feedback. So we have to define persona here. Based on your research, you create detailed profiles of different types of users, such as tech savvy, business professional, old and retired kind of people, who are not that technical savvy. So you outline their financial goals, performance, and challenges. So what are we trying to say is, when it comes to using the app, you don't have to think that everybody is going to be a tech savvy. There can be dummies, there can be old age people, there could be students, etc. So we have to think from various aspects of the user persona. So how are we going to map these user journey? Okay, you map you map out the steps users take when using your banking app, starting from logging into the uh, uh, app to checking their balance, funds transferring, paying bills, and so on. You identify key touch points like account setup, transaction history, and customer support. Identify pain points and opportunities. Though user feedback and analysis, with that you discover that many users find so with feedback and analysis, you discover that many users find bill payment processing, that whole processing seems to be confusing, and you encounter some error messages when transferring funds between accounts. So you see an opportunity to streamline these processes and provide clear instructions. So this is the opportunity. See, whenever you see some kind of error messages or common issues, okay, if you have to relate with WebEx, right? So if you see any kind of common issues or some pain points, now that's an opportunity for you to streamline your process and documentation. Create content for each stage. For each stage in the user journey, you create clear and concise documentation, a step-by-step guide, FAQs, troubleshooting guide, etc. So you also ensure that the language used is jargon-free, accessible to users of all levels of technical proficiency. Okay. Um, so how do we iterate and improve after the in this example, after the app launches, you continue to gather feedback from users through app reviews, customer support interaction, usability, and their testing, etc. You use this feedback to update and improve the documentation, addressing any new pain points or areas of confusions that arises. So far, good. If you're clear with that, just give me thumbs up. We'll move on to the next slide. Good, good. Okay. So, benefits of user journey mapping in technical documentation or technical writing. Enhanced user experience. Intuitive in a sense, easy to understand. So we have to create documentation that is easy to understand, that reduces frustration. Okay. Increased engagement. So one of the advantages when you have good documentation, your user engagement increases. User engagement increases more with tailored documentation, easy to follow steps. Sometimes we also embed videos or a vidcast. If there's any feature, how do you set up that feature? We put vidcast there, we put video there, we try to make the documentation look more neat step by step. So that increases your user engagement, okay? Improved product adoption. So a clear documentation promotes easier product utilization. A simple and quick start guide and a series of shorts, screenshots, instructional videos that demonstrates the product, making it easy for new users to start and feel confident in using the product. So, see, there's a purpose why we write the document. We have to write the document so that the user adoption increases. The customer feels that the product is easy. The steps to, for example, enable a feature, it should look easy. It shouldn't look like very complicated. And with that, our users will get confident in using our product. Not just that, it also reduces the support cost. How? A well-crafted documentation minimizes the need of customer support. Common issues, for example, logging into WebEx, okay, or upgrading WebEx to the next release. There's an error message. Now, when you see such frequent reported issues, it is an opportunity for us to create troubleshooting guides or an article for that, which with detailed steps that addresses the common issues, which leads to decrease in support calls and support cost. So user journey in technical writing is a strategic approach to craft user-centered documentation, ensuring users' needs and effectively meet throughout their product interaction. So we come to the end of our first topic. Does anybody have any questions? If not, we'll move on to our second topic. Okay. So we'll move on to our second topic. Customer feedback. Feedback involves collecting, analyzing, and using information to improve product, services, and customer satisfaction. Methods include surveys. You run a survey. You can do a social media campaign, or you can do an online review. There are various ways to collect information or feedback from customers. Okay. The data is analyzed to identify trends and areas for improvement, to enhance customer experience, informing businesses decisions, and increasing customer retention. So let's look at how this customer feedback relates with our help articles. Okay, customer feedback on help articles uh, is valuable information for understanding how well your support content meets users' needs. It helps in identifying the gaps, if there are any confusing instructions to the customers, or improving topics or titles um, on the help articles. Okay. Um, so we have four different boxes here. Comment sections. Suppose think about you published an internal, article only for beta customers. So sometimes we we just render, like, we do offline rendition and provide the PDF version to the PMs and engineerings. They in turn send that to very select customers. Okay. Now, during that phase, if there are any gaps in the documentation, they provide comments, right? And which is sent back to us, to the writers, to make those corrections or improvement. Okay, that's what I mean by comment sections. Feedback is nothing but the options that you have on any one of the help article. If you go at the bottom, you have yes or no options. User testing. Um, Suppose you are working with engineering, okay, during the rollout or initial stage, right? So as and when the engineering test, they provide feedback. So you collect that and you try to improve your documentation, which is still in the draft stage, etc. And WebEx or email is like, we have various spaces created where, for example, the best example is Ask Tech Doc space, where internal users like your tech engineers, sales guys, CSMs, partners, etc. They provide feedback. Hey, could you fix this article? Or some section is the screenshot is outdated. Can you update the screenshot? Or email. Sometimes users also try to reach us via email, but we are more focused on feedback button. So we'll look into that. So here's the process documentation. What I'll do is I'll post this link here in the chat, okay, so that you all have access to these resources. So we're going to look into that. So let's talk about feedback lifecycle, okay? So the customer feedback loop consists of 5 stages. The first is ask. So during this stage, you install the feedback portal and request feedback on your site using surveys, live chats, and all the other possible ways that we discussed in previous slides. Okay. What is the purpose? To actively collect input from customers about their experiences and opinions. So when we collect this feedback, what do? We gather all kinds of feedback, whether organized or unorganized, with the help of specialized softwares. We can also use, so when we talk about softwares that can be used to analyze this feedback, one of the good example is Cisco Enterprise AI. So we can use that to analyze the customer data. So we compile this data to create a comprehensive set of uh, data that reflects customers' sentiments and issues. Then we analyze and plan. So build a product roadmap based on the best insights from your customers' feedback. So when we identify key trends from the feedback, right? We have to identify what are the trends that we are seeing and what actionable, what action can you take, okay? So if I have to say, we have to uh, build some insights that can inform strategic planning and product development. And then implement, improve product based on users' suggestions to make uh, practical changes and enhancements to the product or service directly influenced by customer feedback. And then notify. So you show your customers that their input or opinion is important or it matters a lot. So there has to be some acknowledgement. So so to close this loop, right, this customer feedback loop, the very important step here is to acknowledge the customer by communicating to the customer that their feedback has been heard and we have taken some sort of action, thereby reinforcing their value to the company and encouraging continued engagement. Okay. So there are some resources which I'll share with you all in the space. Uh, so the resource here is the process documentation for how to handle customer feedback. Okay, when we get customer feedback, there are, I mean, you all can go through this. So I'll just run through this very quick. So we download customer feedback from Power BI, okay, for any given date range. You analyze that using several tools, such as one of them that I mentioned is Cisco Enterprise AI, or you can also build a word cloud to see what are the most common words or issues, error messages, anything that you want to see from the customer feedback, okay? Based on that, once you identify what are the most common issues that are occurring, then you'll get a clear idea what you need to do with that. So you can go, I mean, the best practice is to look at when you are looking at negative feedback, go by each feedback, okay? Sometimes there's an opportunity for you, like for instance, customer says that, I tried calling. This is an example, okay? I tried calling customer support. There was a long wait. Therefore, I hang up. I'm giving you my phone number and email address. Can somebody contact me? Okay. Now, when you look at such feedback, what you do is, what is the action you take? So quickly run through I mean, if you have access to CS1, where the TAC agents log their cases, right? So check, uh, suppose you received a feedback on 5th, okay, and you're looking at the feedback on 6th. See if customer tried reaching support on 6th or 7th. If not, there's an opportunity for you to open a support case and hand over that support case to the TAC. Okay, that is one action. And we don't engage with the customers directly at any point. Okay, we just raise a case, hand it over to the TAC. Another example, okay, if you find a comment and customer says that, there's Zoom which is having this feature, let's say virtual background, okay? Suppose there are multiple faces, the image doesn't shake, or I mean, it's still clear. even though there are multiple images. But with WebEx, the image tries to shake or there is some distracted background. Can that be improved? Now, that's a very good suggestion. What do you do with that? So, as a technical writer, when you're reviewing such feedback, you can raise a feature request. Uh, Nothing but the AHA request, what most of them saying. The link for that is over here. If you find a feedback that says something about localization, now we support 14 different languages, right? Whenever you update an article, it gets updated in English instantly. But in all the other languages, it takes time, depends upon the bandwidth, the localization team. But to know who is the manager for localization, it is Jen Farola. And how to reach her, you just have to go to this link. It's like another Jira, Jira portal. You can provide the link and what is the feedback that you heard from the customer, paste it there. Try it out. It's very simple, how you open the help docs Jira, pretty much on the same lines. So if the customer says, in Japanese, the way it is written, it is very confusing. Can you, fix that? Yes, there is an opportunity for us to do something there. So, but who handles such requests? It goes to Jane Ferrola, who is the localization manager, and here's the process for you to open the ticket. Now, on the Help Center portal itself, if you receive any feedback, like on the Help Center, um, customer says, the filtering is not working, or I was not able to submit feedback, or maybe this option was moved here, there, would have been better. If you find it valuable, put it in the space, ask tool guild space, okay? And there's a link for that here. And I'll share this process document with you all. Are we good here? If yes, then we will move on to the next topic, which is our last topic. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you're okay. I mean, if you're good to move to the next topic.
Sheikh, I had one question.
Yes, Sashi.
So you said that, so see, the process is the Power BI collects all this feedback, right? That we get it in the form of a Excel file. So, I mean, I don't know if it's out of the scope, but just wanted to understand. You said with the Cisco Enterprise AI, then we use that to understand this feedback. Is that what it is? I don't know. I
See,
didn't quite.
normally, Sashi, if I have to give you an example, right, for WebEx product, in essence, WebEx Meeting Center, that kind of product, the feedbacks for any given month is in thousands, okay? So if on your analytics team, if there is, say, one or two persons analyzing this data with thousands of feedback, it becomes very difficult for you to find out the trends, what is happening, why you're getting so many feedback, okay? The best way is take that feedback, try to build a word cloud, okay? It'll give you the most common trending words, or if there were some error messages, or if there was any system downtime, or the customer could not join the meeting because of your telephony server was down. I could join the meeting, but I could not dial into the conference call. If that's the trend that you were hearing on any given day, you will see that in the word cloud. And also, that is one way of analyzing the data. Another way, that is Cisco Enterprise AI. Nothing but like any other AI that we have, but we encourage you to use Cisco Enterprise AI, not any other that is available outside that is open source. So with the AI, you can provide the data in batches, because thousands of feedback, if you provide it in one go, the system on the back end may get confused. So it is recommended for you to provide in the batches. That way it can better analyze the data that you are providing or feeding in. When you provide that data in batches, it gives you a trend out of that. Okay. So if you ask the AI, I'm providing you the batch of data. Can you please provide me the trends that you can make out? What are the most common issues? What are some pain points? If you ask the AI literally like that, it is going to throw out some trends and some common issues that it can read and make out from the feedback that you are providing. Okay,
Okay.
makes sense?
Yes, Sri. Thank you.
Okay, but if you're interested in knowing how we can use AI in making out the trends or finding out what are the most common issues for any batch of feedback data that you have, please sync with me. I don't mind spending like 5-10 minutes with you to walk you through or demonstrate you how we can do that. Okay, if anybody, not just you, anybody who's interested, just sync with me. I'll be happy to walk you through with that.
Sure, Sri. Thank you.
Okay. So last topic for the day, all right? More than you all, I'm excited that I'm at the last topic. All right. Okay. So data analytics in technical writing team involves examining various data sources to enable documentation quality and effectiveness by collecting, processing, and interpreting data to guide content creation and updates. So we will look at some detailed breakdown on that, okay? What are the key aspects of data analyzing in technical writing? Okay. Feedback data. Gather user feedback via surveys, comments, and ratings on help articles. Support data. Analyze customer support tickets to identify common issues and information that leads to any kind of gaps. Okay. Usage data. Track metrics like page views, time spent on any given article, search queries on the help portal, error reports, compiled reports of documentation, errors, or inaccuracies from the users. Product data, monitor product updates, changes that requires documentation updates. Processing data, categorizing. So organize data into categories such as FAQs, common issues, most viewed articles. So cleaning that involves remove irrelevant or duplicate data to ensure accuracy. Interpretation. Trend analysis. Identify patterns in user behavior and feedback over time. Next is gap analysis. So determine underrepresented or missing topics in current documentation. So there's one of the exercise that we are doing right now. So with the inventory that we have, we are going to identify the articles that has missing short description. So we're going to identify that. With the content that's there on the article, we are going to come up with a very nice short description that we will ask the writers to edit and update the article with a new short description. So gap analysis, that's one good example of gap analysis. Okay. You guys, did you follow the example that I just quoted here for gap analysis? Good. Thanks, Shashi, for that thumbs up. User behavior, understand how users navigate and interact with the documentation to optimize content layout and structure. Why data analysis is important, okay? Improving documentation quality. So relevance here, ensure documentation addresses actual user needs, okay? Clarity identifies and fixes confusing instructions. Completeness highlights missing or insufficiently covered topics, enhancing user experiences. That includes accessibility, improves organization and searchability, satisfaction, provides accurate, helpful, and updated information, reducing frustration and support request. Supporting decision making. So prioritization informs which updates are most critical based on user needs. So we have to, when we are analyzing the data, right, we have to prioritize what kind of, suppose WebEx login is the most common issue, and you found that there's a gap to improve, or you could make the documentation a little better. And that's the issue that is reported in a given month, let's say more than 100 or 200 customers. So what becomes your priority? The top trending issue, that becomes your priority. So you would work on improving your documentation on the most trending issue or the most reported issue. Okay. So resources allocated. Focus on resources on the most impactful areas. So what I just mentioned, okay? Facilitating continuous improvement, feedback loop, regularly analyze feedback for ongoing enhancements. Adoption ensures documentation involves with product changes and user requirements. So if you ask me what are the tools and techniques that we can use for analytics, for analyzing data, there are tools like Power BI, Google Analytics. I mean, we don't use that, but can be used if required. LogRocket to see the heat map, like, did the customer straight away come to help.webex.com, or did he go to google.com? From there, did he come to help center? How long did the customer spend on any given article? Did the customer, after looking at the article, did the customer tried opening a chat support or tried opening a ticket? Those kind of trends you can get from LogRocket. And there are other web analytic tools that's available to track user interactions and behavior. Okay. But what we are using in common today is Power BI, LogRockets. Those are the tools that we are using. Okay. And we also, for documentations that's hosted on cisco.com, we use the wrap tool. Okay, so For a feedback, what are the different mechanisms? One, survey platform. You can also have a campaign running through social media or a feedback form to get, it could be various ways to gather feedback from a customer. Okay. But how we take feedback from the customer is from the options at the bottom of the article. I think we have that here. Anyway, so if you go to the article at the bottom, there will be option for you. Was this article helpful? Yes or no? That's where we collect the feedback from the customer. Okay. Support tools, CRM systems like your CS1, um, for tracking your tickets to identify the most common issues. Okay. Data visualization, like your charts, graphs, and dashboards to visualize the trends and any insights that you can make out from the data. By leveraging data analysis, technical writing team can create effective and user-centered documentation that improves the needs and um, evolves with ongoing feedback and changing requirements. So, as a technical writer, you should analyze the following data every month. Feedback on help article to identify which articles are helpful and which are not. Areas for improvement or articles that has missing steps or any kind of typos that you can fix. Customer support tickets to identify common issues or questions that might indicate unclear or missing documentation. Web analysis to understand how users interact with your help content, including page views, time spent on a page or article, your rating for the article, indicating the effectiveness and engagement at any given level during the interaction. Search queries. So with search queries, we use Power BI to find the search queries or strings for a given date range to see what users are searching on your help site, identifying gaps in your content and understanding user needs. So now, see, one other thing we do with the search strings is when we download the most common search strings or the words, right? We can try to use those words as keywords in your article metadata, or you can, when you're using a short description, right? Try to build a short description with the words that you are seeing in the search queries. That way, whenever customer tries to search, your article could appear on top. Or, I think that should explain what I'm trying to say. Users' comments and ratings to gain direct insights into user satisfaction and specific feedback on what works well and what doesn't in your documentation. Content usage statistics to track how often specific documents are accessed, downloaded, or interactions to find how helpful the article is to the customers. Now, if you look month on month page view, right, that would indicate, suppose an article, what's new article, right? What's new for WebEx calling? Now, if you are looking at the data and if you find consistently this document is giving you month on month 5% increase. Now that means that um, this documentation is helpful and your users are accessing this document to know what are your monthly releases. That's one very good example there. Now, error reports and fixes. To keep track of any documentation errors reported by users and ensure that they are corrected promptly. Okay. Product usage, product updates and changes. To ensure that documentation is updated in line with any new features, updates to the products. I think we're almost to the end here. Okay, so let's look at importance of analyzing customer data. It improves user experience. Understanding how customers use your documentation helps you create more effective and user-friendly content. Identifies content gaps. Analyzing customer data highlights the missing information or areas where user needs more guidance, allowing you to fill those gaps. Okay. I know we all try to write the documents in our best efforts. Okay. Sometimes we may tend to, if you think about user journey, we may have tried to write something from the customer prospect. Okay. Now you get a feedback from the customer that, hey, look, if you could have rewritten this in a better way, it makes more sense to the customers. Yes, those kind of feedback, you could use that to improve the content gap. Okay. Enhance relevance and accuracy. Regular updates based on customer feedback ensures that your documentation stays current and accurate, reducing user frustration and support request. So I will read this one more time. Okay. So please make note of this. So enhance relevance and accuracy. Regular updates on your article based on customer feedback ensures that your documentation stays current and accurate, reducing user frustration and support request. So there's a reason why we look at customer feedback. Okay, this is a perfect example, if I have to say, why we have to look at customer feedback and make regular updates. Increase customer satisfaction by addressing the needs and concerns of your users through improved documentation. You enhance overall customer satisfaction and loyalty. Drives continuous improvement. Regular analysis of customer data fosters a culture of continuous improvement, ensuring that your documentation involves with your users' needs. Support decision making. Data-driven insights allows you to make informed decisions about the content to create, update, or remove, optimizing resource allocations and team efforts. By regularly analyzing these steps of data, your technical writing team can ensure that the data documentation meets users' needs, support product users, usage, and enhances overall customer experience. Now, I think that's the goal of the looking at customer data and feedback. Um, okay. So, from our team, Shruti and myself are part of the data guild. Okay. I just want to quickly run through the insights that we submit on a monthly basis to our managers. Okay. Now, for the calling team, some of the insights that we submit is like, the page views. We try to take the page views for a month and try to compare with the previous month. How did we trend? Now, in this example, this is for the month of February 2024, and month on month, MOM is month on month. If you are seeing with month on month for the month of February, and if you are comparing Feb with Jan, right, we were like 3.9% more. Yeah, if you could see here, Jan, we were somewhere about 740K views, and in Feb, 776,000 views. So we were up by 3.9%. Now, what are the trends that we found here? So we have written here that the Help Center portal experienced 3.9% growth in page views from Jan to Feb. This indicates a steady increase in user engagement and interest over time. Okay, what else we are trying to make out here? The page views remains relatively consistent throughout the week of February, with week 3.
Sheikh, sorry.
One second.
Yeah, can you please zoom it?
Oh yeah, okay. Thank you. How can I zoom it for you?
If it's a Word document, then there is
It's a PDF.
Yeah, the PDF also should have the percentage, right? Like 100%. Yeah, this is better.
Better, okay. All right. Okay, yeah. So yeah, okay. This is okay.
Yeah, this is better. Thank you.
All right. The page view remains relatively consistent throughout the weeks of February, with week 3 having the highest view. So we were trying to find out some kind of trends here, what was happening. So if you see for the month of February, the third week had some highest number of views. So that's what we are trying to call out here. And a total of 8 features were released in the month of February. Okay. So, I don't want to read everything that we have written here. So basically what we do is we try to find out trends. If you see here, right, we were trying to find trends based on the region. So in the month of Feb, we saw a decline in the total views, with APAC, your Asia Pacific region, pulling down the data here. So various ways for you to find out different trends, what is happening based on the user persona, or region wise, or weekly wise, or even if you are seeing some increase in the landing page or what's new article. So uh, here, like I was talking about the what's new article for Microsoft, here Microsoft Teams integration. So it has 53% increase. So let's see why. Okay, there was more user adoption, and we were regularly updating the article with respect to the features that were rolled out. And also, this is one of our popular platform for Microsoft Teams. Um, this is one of our popular article, okay? And so This article, Cisco calling plan, I think this is a new feature that we released, and it had 27% increase. So increase in the page view signifies that the customer interaction for the Cisco calling plan offer, we made some enhancement to this feature. So that's why we are seeing some increase, and that too coming from the Australia region. Okay, so those are the trends that we try to find. And we also mentioned some highlights, like what are the things that we see something exciting happened in the month of February from the data that you have, or some lowlights. Lowlights in a sense, what are some improving things, some concerning things that we look from the data, something that we can improvise. If I have to go for one of the lowlights in February, WebEx Broadworks category had 707 cases logged, but only 16 cases included documentation. It is critical for us to explore the reasons behind the low documentation rate. Okay, so opportunity for us to investigate if there are any obstacles in supplying documentation. Okay, so we will identify. What are we going to do with that is we will identify what are the common issues that were reported with the tag. Okay, we'll take that. We'll see if there's any gap in our documentation for the WebEx documentation, user guides, troubleshooting guide. We'll go through that. We'll see if there is any gap. And if we for the issue that's reported, if there's any solution that was provided by the TAC engineer, we'll use that. We'll try to build a draft. We'll get that validated by the TAC engineer and from the product manager, and then we'll publish that article. So what will happen with that? We are addressing a common issues, most reported common issues. That way, in the future, we could see reduction in such issues reported to the TAC or the support team. All right. So far with me, does that example make sense? Yes, no? A simple thumbs up smiley would do. And this is
Shikha,
yeah.
Shikha, I have a question. You mentioned about log rocket being used for the heat maps, right?
Yes,
So is this being currently used, Shik? Do you have any insight for the calling application on what we are working on?
So only a few members on the analytic teams have the license to that. Okay.
Okay.
We haven't started using that fully yet. So
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, I will be able to share more information once I start using that personally, Ramya.
Okay. So I mean, in your content guild, is whoever has the license, what exactly are they sharing, Sheikh? Or I mean, do you have the access to those data?
So
Just want to understand what is it we are trying to achieve using Log Rocket?
Right. See, from the log rocket, few things that we will be looking at is how did the customer land to the article? Did he go to Google straight away or any other site, any other search portal? From there, did he come to Help Center? Or did the customer straight away come to the Help Center, or from the Control Hub UI or any one of the product UI? From there, did the customer come to the Help Center? And how long did the customer spend on the article? Okay. And from navigating to the article, okay, did the customer tried opening a support case, or did he go to any WebEx chatbot, or did the customer try contacting a support? Those are the trends that we will be looking at from the log rocket, Ramya. And we have not started sharing that data yet because only the license is given to one of the guild member, but I don't think any sort of training has been provided yet.
Okay. Sheikh. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Sheikh Nandini here. So I
Yes,
had two
Nandini.
questions. Yeah, in that one was the navigation thing, which I got the answer now with Ramya's question. When you answered Ramya's question, Okay. The other thing was there's the number of features released in a month is also tracked. So what's the input for the tool to track the number of features there?
So see, think about this. When you are writing something for a new feature, right? So where do you put that? Either you put in what's new article, or you are creating a standalone article for that, right?
Yeah.
Or you may be updating one of the existing article where you would add some information about that. So what kind of data can you pull from LogRocket or Power BI or any other tool? So um, suppose in the month of Feb, you had released something about a feature called voicemail. So when you download the data, you see how many views has increased for your What's New article or for your standalone article for voicemail. So is that pulling any views? Is the views increasing? Why is it increasing? Because um, you have rolled out just now, and a lot of customers are interested in looking at what are the new features that you have rolled out with voicemail.
Okay. But the what's new article is the combination of all the features. It has the everything. How do
Right.
you specifically
From I think from
tell it
log
the
rocket,
voicemail?
yeah, from the log rocket you can also see where where on the page the customer is clicking. So the customer opens the what's new page, and in the Feb section, you had something about your DI or voicemail, and the customer clicks on that, let's say, and that has a link to the standalone article of voicemail. In the Feb section, you had very detailed information about voicemail. And you also provided for more information, go to this article to read more about voicemail, right? So if the customer clicks on that, so we can trace, is the customer looking at voicemail and did he go to that standalone article to know more about voicemail? So we can find that clicks and where he's going.
Okay.
Does it answers your question, Nandini?
Yeah, it does, Sheikh. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Any other questions?
Sheikh, do you also consider Cisco.com articles, or is this only Health Center?
No, for Cisco.com as well.
Okay.
And we also use the wrap tool for analyzing data for the articles that's published on Cisco.com.
Okay.
Sheikh, but now we're not consider. I mean, two things, Nandini. I mean, sorry, Sheikh, I just want to re-clarify that part. Nandini, when the WebEx for BroadWorks and UCM WebEx for BroadWorks, when it was there on Cisco.com, we were considering that number to the Ember report. Okay, monthly and